Good, happy Monday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, man accused of abducting woman, child from Mall of New Hampshire, arrested in Pennsylvania. A man accused of abducting a woman and her son outside the Mall of New Hampshire and sexually assaulting the woman in Vermont has been arrested, police said. Manchester police said Everett Simpson, 41, most recently of St. Johnsbury, Vermont, was arrested in Upper Dearby Township, Pennsylvania. Vermont State Police said Simpson forced the woman and her son into their car around 1 p.m. Saturday and then drove to a hotel in White River Junction, Vermont, where he forced the woman to rent a hotel room and then sexually assaulted her. Police said there is no evidence that the child was hurt. When Simpson left the hotel room around 5:30 p.m. Saturday, the two victims were able to escape and contact authorities. Police said Simpson was a stranger to the victims, who appear to have been targeted at random. Simpson, who is known to police, escaped a drug rehabilitation facility in Vermont last week and stole a car 3 days earlier, officials said. Simpson was at the facility under court order conditions of release following his arrest in September for a vehicle theft, high-speed pursuit, and aggravated assault on a Vermont state trooper in Lyndonville, Vermont. A spokesperson for Mall of New Hampshire issued a statement Sunday night saying, "As this is a police matter, all further inquiries should be directed to the Manchester, New Hampshire Police Department or Vermont State Police Department." Police searched addresses in Vermont associated with Simpson and said he was last seen driving a stolen silver 2014 Kia Sorento with New Hampshire license plates. Officials with Prospect Park Police Department in Pennsylvania were on an unrelated traffic stop when an automated license plate recognition system identified the vehicle as the stolen Kia from New Hampshire, Vermont State Police said. Authorities said the driver refused to stop for police and chased insured, ending when the car was found abandoned in the parking lot of a nearby apartment complex. Police established a perimeter to search for the driver. About an hour later, a red Prospect Vibe was reported stolen from the area. Upper Dearbound Township Police found and chased that car until it crashed into a telephone pole. The driver was arrested and identified as Simpson. He was being evaluated at a hospital Sunday night in Pennsylvania. News of the abduction spread quickly through Manchester's busy South Willow Street shopping area. Vermont State Police said Simpson is expected to face federal charges in Vermont related to car theft, kidnapping, and sexual assault. The prosecutor is being coordinated by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Burlington. Kevin Spacey set to appear in Nantucket court today. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Todd Skeskevich.
Of course, some believed everything and had just been waiting with bated breath to hear me confess it all.
The ambiguous recent rant of an actor playing a fictional character stands in stark contrast to the very clear, real-life felony charge Kevin Spacey will be arraigned on Monday in this Nantucket courtroom. One count of indecent assault and battery.
There was no consent.
The victim is the son of former WCVB News Center 5 anchor Heather Unruh. In a press conference in November 2017, Heather said the assault happened late one night in July 2016 at the club car on Nantucket. Her son was working there for the summer when the 18-year-old met the star of House of Cards.
Kevin Spacey bought him drink after drink after drink. And when my son was drunk, Spacey made his move and sexually assaulted him.
Police reports say the alleged victim was texting with his girlfriend during the 3-minute assault and sent her a Snapchat video. But what the video shows is not clear. When Spacey left to use the bathroom, the alleged victim ran home. 2.5 weeks ago, a clerk magistrate issued a criminal complaint.
But you wouldn't believe the worst without evidence, would you? You wouldn't rush to judgments without facts, would you? Did you? No, not you. You're smarter than that.
The question is, what will a judge or jury believe? News Center 5 legal analyst Martha Coakley says the arraignment will be brief and a matter of procedure, but the outcome of a potential trial is far less predictable.
They'll be corroborating witnesses about who was there, that it might have happened, but no real direct evidence. A jury or a judge would have to find beyond a reasonable doubt that the touching occurred and that it was not consented to.
The arraignment is scheduled for 11 a.m. Monday here at Nantucket District Court, and News Center 5 will broadcast it live. Reporting live tonight on Nantucket, Todd Skeskevich, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. And we will be sure to share you that live stream with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page when it happens. Charges hold off Ravens 23-17 in playoff opener. Michael kicked off 5 field goals in the Los Angeles Chargers, contained rookie quarterback Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens to carve out a 23-17 victory Sunday in the opening round of the NFL playoffs. Potential presidential candidates expected to visit New Hampshire this month. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
With about 13 months until the first in the nation primary, there's no time to waste.
Iowa is going to have a big part in determining where we go next.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren has announced a presidential exploratory committee and visited Iowa. The director of the Institute of Politics at St. Anselm College says she'll be in New Hampshire in the next few weeks.
And I think her getting in right at the end of December really spurred on a lot of motion in the presidential contest.
Former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro will announce his decision on Saturday.
President Trump is not doing enough to cool the division In fact, he's fanning the flames of division.
And a few days later, he'll speak at the Politics and Eggs series at St. A's.
We've heard from a lot of the top-tier candidates already. We keep it under wraps until they make their announcement themselves. But all of the big names that you've heard about, we've heard from.
Neil Levesque says there will be a lot of chances for voters to meet up to 30 Democrats who could try to challenge President Trump in 2020.
Love him or hate him, he's a motivating factor in politics. And so if you're a Democrat, I would expect that he will be front and center on what you're discussing as you come into New Hampshire and you talk to voters.
With the holiday season behind us, now primary season is underway in the Granite State.
Certainly there is a time limit here because there's a certain amount of money, there's a certain amount of staff, and there's a certain amount of events that you want to try to hit in some of these early states. So yes, there is a time crunch now.
Levesque also points out that with so many candidates, someone can win the primary with a small majority. For instance, Jimmy Carter won in 1976 with less than 30% of the vote.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we will need to keep our eyes on when those candidates get into New Hampshire. New Boston teen asks for public's help finding new kidney. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Jess Moran.
"17-year-old Haley Gelinas goes through more than any teenager should ever have to endure.
I'm on dialysis. I've been on dialysis for almost 2 years. And dialysis is not that fun.
Haley has end-stage renal disease, a chronic kidney condition that's forcing her to need a new kidney again. In 2008, her uncle donated one, but 2 years ago, her body rejected the organ. Now she's looking for another donor from someone alive and healthy, preferably 35 years old or younger, with A or O blood type. Her family is asking for the public's help.
It's such a very slow, tedious process that we just feel like we're treading water and we're not getting anywhere.
At times, Haley's condition requires emergency medical care, and with that, a special bond has formed with the New Boston Fire Department. It also helps that one of the firefighters is her neighbor.
As things progressed and things got worse with her, they said they needed help. And so she kind of asked me about the EMS medical side because she knew I worked full-time Bedford in New Boston. So I started to say, hey, let's do a plan together. Chief got involved, and then the whole New Boston Fire Department got involved.
He kind of spearheaded that and made sure we walked through all the procedures, special procedures we would have to take care of if we were to have to transport her, including gowning up in masks and being sterile before we go into the room.
Now Haley is considered a member of the New Boston firefighter family and has one word to describe how all the support makes her feel.
Loved.
Information on how you can help can be found on the Facebook page Well Wishes for Haley. In New Boston, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Dow features move lower as U.S.-China trade talks resume. U.S. stock index features were slightly lower on Monday morning, with markets focused largely attuned to trade talks between Chinese officials and their American counterpartners. Sandra Oh's Big Night, Gaga's tribute, and more. Top moments from the Golden Globes. And let's take a look at this video from ABC News.
parking splat. And we covered it. Talked to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Golden Globes are just 2 days away, the first big predictor for what's to come at the Oscars.
So if Sunday is any indication, it's looking like the award season is going gaga. ABC's Will Gans has a preview.
As we gear up for Hollywood's Golden Night, it looks like Lady Gaga could be set to have a pitch-perfect evening. The pop star is heavily favored to pick up a win for her role in A Star is Born, but she's not the only one on the edge of glory. Her co-star, Bradley Cooper, who also directed the film, is the favorite for Best Actor, and the film itself leads a competitive pack of dramas for the Best Picture nod. On the comedy side of things, Vice scored more nominations than any other film this season, and its leading actor, Christian Bale, will likely nab a Globe for making the incredible transformation into former Vice President Dick Cheney, packing on at least 40 pounds to play the part. As a reminder, this is him on the set of The Dark Knight Rises, and this is him in Vice. That's commitment to your craft, and probably your Kraft mac and cheese. Anyway, his Vice co-star Amy Adams faces some stiff competition in the supporting actress category, with 2 other A-listers making a bang this awards season.
Abigail.
Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone are nominated against each other for their roles in The Favorite, which may leave that category wide open if they split votes. As far as Best Motion Picture Comedy, that one is too close to call. The Favorite may live up to its name, with many citing it as this year's comedy to beat, while others think Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali's Green Book will come up golden on Sunday night. Or if a bit of nostalgia and a spoonful of sugar are enough to sway the Hollywood foreign press, well, we may see something like this at the Golden Globes.
Mary Poppins! Something to look forward to at the end of the weekend.
Right? All right.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this edition right here on the Riley King Newscast. I hope you all enjoyed watching and have a wonderful Monday, everyone. I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.